Good morning, Mark.
How are you?
Okay, now we've got you.
I apologize. Murphy's Law's striking.
Okay, yeah.
You can hear us, right, Mark?
Okay, yes, I can.
Okay, great. All right,
Okay, this morning on IGTV Practical InfoSec, I'll be discussing the NSA 60-minute network security guide, and basically what that is it is a publication that has been done by the network, the System and Network Attack Center out of the National Security Agency. It's a high-level document that describes basically simple network elements, system components, and how those components can be vulnerable in general terms. It's intended to be the first step in establishing a secure network environment. And it can be read to front and back in about 60 minutes. So that's why it's called the 60-minute security guide. I've included a link that it can be downloaded from. And we'll post that on the IGTV blog. And moving forward, to look at a little deeper what's in it, it's got general network elements talking about knowing your network, general overview of operating systems, TCP, UDP servers and services, general best practices around passwords, trusted sources, least privilege. There's some talk about application auditing and network security testing. They also provide several primers on basic network components like perimeter firewalls and routers, Windows 2000 and above operating system. They talk about Microsoft's Internet Information Server, IIS, as well as Unix and Unix web servers, and there's some discussion about intrusion detection systems. The big question probably asked is, why is this useful? It's a basic, from point of zero primer. Why would a seasoned information professional find it useful? And there are about 3 ways that I found it useful to have handy. It's a very good kind of ace up the sleeve when you need something basic. As an educational tool, you can give it to people who may not be involved in information security, and it will give them a basic understanding of information security concepts. You can use it as a shareable reference. If you get involved in an IT project that has had no focus or little focus in security, the document, you can use it as a structural basis to use as a tool for very rapid assessment remediation, almost cocktail napkin type stuff. Especially it's handy if you're dealing with other parties where non-disclosure prevents you from really using your own policies and standards. And it's also useful as a quick reference if you've got a team of people and everybody has different specialties, and maybe not everybody has the same level of understanding about information security. You can use it to sort of be the rising tide that lifts all boats and get everybody up to a level of understanding. To dig deeper into those 3 areas, using it as an educational tool, primer, some of the individuals as you might find useful, and I know I have in a series of both incidents and consulting engagements, is chief information officers. Typically, if you get involved in an organization where they haven't focused on security tends to be sort of I don't want to say the flavor of the month, but it becomes a new focus because either something bad has happened or they got dinged in an audit. Then the CIO may or may not have a heavy background in security. This is a way that you can start getting them to think about that. Likewise, with different IT projects, application managers, developers, database people, platform and operations staff, anybody who's a general IT who may not have had security first. You can also use it with vendors and the third-party service providers if they're providing you services. Sometimes other organizations bringing you things aren't operating at the level of maturity you'd like. Likewise, when you're providing services and or infrastructure to other people, your client, staff, and or your customers may not have the same capability and maturity that you have. And a shareable reference, I found this document to be useful in a couple of different ways. One is mergers and acquisitions. If you get dragged into a situation where you need to quickly establish the organization that you're acquiring or merging with, you need to be able to talk through that, then you can use this guide as a quick stepping stone to say, okay, have we covered this? Have we covered that? Have we covered that? A lot of times, IT and IT security are kind of afterthoughts with mergers and acquisitions, as these are strategic decisions, and people tend to say, okay, well, we want that for the business, so we'll worry about IT after we start signing stuff. Likewise, in application and system development, if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you're in an organization that thinks about security only during or after implementation, and it's the type of thing where you get coming in and somebody tells you, well, we've got this project going live on Monday, we need it secure, or you've got a piece of software or system automation that's been developed by a business and it's been developed off in a corner, nobody knew about it, and all of a sudden it's mission critical. You can pretty rapidly, use this as a checklist, as well as you can give this to your developers and project leaders and say, you know what, we really need to start thinking about building security in from the start. And if you don't have those processes, this is a good way to hand your operational people a document to say, okay, start thinking about this stuff. Using the guide as a shareable reference for third parties and clients and staff. If your customers need assistance in better securing their infrastructure, you can use this as a walkthrough to do that, especially as extranets and people build systems that talk to each other over the internet. You want to have your clients and customers have as secure systems as they possibly can. That makes their information secure, that makes you more secure. You can provide the guide directly to the clients. This is especially helpful if your organization doesn't have a non-disclosure agreement with these entities. So if releasing your security policy and standards is an issue, you can give this guide to them. It's a publication from the NSA. You can give them the link, you can print out copies, and you're good to go. Likewise, if you buy services or solutions from vendors and you don't have a policy or standards around how those things are going to be deployed, you can use this guide to actually help you create some of those standards and say, all right, you're bringing in, a B2B piece of software. This is what I need you to think about in doing that. It's also useful if you're already doing this and you need to talk about architectural issues. As a quick reference, it's a pretty good, what have I forgot list. Sometimes, the days get pretty hectic, and if you are responding to an incident or you're in a situation where your normal processes don't apply and you need to think through something, especially around if you've been asked to review purchases by your leadership, and they say, well, we're thinking about doing this. What flavor do you like? This is a great what have I forgot list. So it's a good back of the pocket thing to have handy. I'd also like to spend a couple seconds talking about some of the other security configuration guides from the NSA's System Network Attack Center. Again, these are very useful if you don't have standard operating procedures or standard hardening guides, and even if you do, they're not bad to use as a review to say, okay, have we thought of this stuff? And some of the things that they have some various applications, both COTS and custom, router guides, database guides, industrial control systems, which are very focused now. We've seen a lot of that since Stuxnet, operating systems, and telephony and wireless. So go out there and get those things and use them and abuse them. Thank you.
Okay, Mark, put it back to your full screen.
Okay. All right.
All right. I can't see you, but all right. It was a good report anyway. We certainly appreciate it, and thanks for making. Oh, there you go. You're back.
Technology.
Yeah. Just a little technology issue, huh? Yeah, I hear you. All right. Well,
if power kept up.
yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, listen. It's a good presentation. It's good material. It's wise for everybody to get a hold of it. We certainly appreciate you making it onto the show, and we look forward to talking to you next week as well. All right. Thank Mark Capers, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. See you.
All right. Bye.